Hello, my name is Brittany, speaking on behalf of Bob Jones, president of CookBookPlus. CookBookPlus provides a common-sense solution for easily achieving and maintaining a healthy body weight. Many of us live physically inactive lifestyles. Many of us have a habit of overeating. A lack of physical activity plus overeating often results in excess body fat. Low activity, overeating, and too much body fat can greatly increase the risk for many diseases. The easiest way to achieve and maintain a healthy body weight over time is to manage your net daily calories. Net daily calories is the difference between calories eaten and the calories burned off through daily physical activities. The key to doing this is to know your personal BMR. BMR stands for basal metabolic rate. It is the number of calories required each day to sustain good health and to maintain a constant body weight. BMR is based upon a person's age, weight, sex, and lifestyle. The mathematics here is pretty simple. If your net daily calories are greater than your BMRE, you will tend to gain weight over time. If your net daily calories are less than your BMR, you'll tend to lose weight over time. If your net daily calories equals your BMR, your weight will remain constant. CookBookPlus is a nutrition accounting system that makes it easy to manage the relationship between your basal metabolic rate and your net daily calories. 1 pound of body fat is the equivalent of 3,500 calories. If you are 20 pounds overweight, you are carrying around the equivalent of 70,000 extra calories. That's also about the number of calories found in 200 cups of ice cream. If you ride a bicycle for 1 hour at 15 miles per hour, you'll burn off about the same number of calories as in 2 cups of ice cream. To lose the 20 extra pounds, you can simply ride a bicycle for 1 hour a day for 3.5 months. The biggest problem we face in managing net daily calories is knowing our nutrition numbers. CookBookPlus offers a comprehensive, easy-to-use platform for doing so. It lets you quickly and easily log your daily meals and snacks. It tracks exercises and other physical activities. And it includes a full complement of nutrition reports that makes it easy to measure your progress. Tracking personal nutrition is much more tedious and time-consuming than tracking and managing personal finances. CookBookPlus easily meets this challenge. The user interface has been optimized for fast data entry. And there's a comprehensive library of instructional videos that makes learning the software a snap. CookBookPlus is available in 2 flavors, a desktop Windows program and an ASP.NET web application. Both versions offer a similar look, feel, and functionality. To determine the version of CookBookPlus that's right for you, can test drive either or both at your leisure. In the menu that runs along the top of all of our web pages, you'll find links that'll let you either download our free desktop demo or access our free online web demo. Also, if you get a chance, try our Daily Calories Snapshot Calculator. This nifty tool will let you see firsthand the benefit of tracking personal daily nutrition against your target daily BMR. Access the calculator by clicking the image on our homepage. There's a short movie on the homepage that shows how to use it. On the calculator, you'll find a link for more detailed instructions. Achieving and maintaining a healthy body weight is a simple matter of nailing your numbers. To help you achieve and maintain a healthy body weight, and to enable you to maintain that for the rest of your life, you need to know your nutrition numbers. One of the more important numbers to know is your personal target daily BMR. BMR stands for basal metabolic rate. BMR is the number of calories required each day to maintain good health and to maintain a constant body weight. Your BMR value represents the typical number of calories your body burns off each day. BMR values are different for each individual. They are a function of a person's age, weight, sex, and typical lifestyle. For example, a 20-year-old 130-pound female office worker might have a BMR of 1,900 calories, whereas a 180-pound male construction worker might have a BMR value of 2,600 calories. To get a rough estimate of your personal BMR, use our Daily Calories Snapshot Calculator. You can access the calculator by clicking the calculator image on our homepage. Before using the calculator, watch the short How to movie. When working with the calculator, click the yellow link for more detailed instructions. To access the calculator, just click the image. Start by clicking the button in the lower left corner right above the feedback link. That will expose controls where you can enter information about a personal profile, enter your weight, enter your height, enter your date of birth, designate your sex, open the drop-down control, and pick your level of daily physical activity. Click the command button in the lower left corner. The estimated BMR for yourself is shown in this control. The number will be higher for those people who are physically active. It will be lower for who live a sedentary lifestyle. Next, enter some values for calories eaten, calories burned off by exercise, and the percent of fat in the daily calories. We'll just estimate these numbers for this example. For calories eaten, let's say we kept a rough track and it's about 4,000. Exercise calories would be 0. We didn't exercise today. Percent fat in the diet will say 45%, which is fairly accurate for most people. Note that the command button Chart My Values is ready to be clicked. We can either hit the Enter key or we can click the button. Note that the chart indicates the values we entered in those controls. The gauge on the left points to the value of your target daily BMR. That's the value shown here. The center gauge points to the value of net calories for the day. Net calories are calories eaten minus calories burned off by exercise. That's also the number we entered here. The right gauge points to an estimate of the daily weight gain or loss. There are 3,500 calories in a pound of body fat. So if we overeat by 3,500 calories for any day, this gauge will indicate that we should gain about 1 pound that day. The daily weight gain estimate for this example is shown in this control. The calculator also delivers a message indicating how we did for today. Here, it's telling us that we overate our budget. Our budget was our BMR, which was 3,072 calories. Here, it says we overate by 928 calories. If you divide 928 calories by 3,500 DARs, which is the number of calories in 1 pound of body fat, that's where the estimate of 27 pounds per day came from. So basically, by eating this way and not exercising, the calculator estimates that we would have gained about 1/4 of a pound today. Let's quickly run through another example. First, we'll click this button to reset the values. Next, we'll enter some values for calories eaten exercise and percent fat. We'll leave the calories eaten alone at 4,000, but this time let's assume that did some exercise. Let's suppose that we burned off 1,000 calories in exercise. We'll leave percent fat alone, and we'll click the Chart My Values button. This time the center gauge says our net calories for the day was about 3,000. That's almost exactly what our BMR value was. And because our net calories is about the same as our BMR, the estimated weight gain or loss for today is almost 0. Let's do one more. We'll reset the values. This time, we'll bring down the calories eaten to $3,500 and we'll crank up the exercises to 1,500. Maybe we took a long bike ride, we'll chart the values. This time the center gauge says our net calories for today were about 2,000 calories. It also estimates that we're going to have lost about 1/3 of a pound. Furthermore, the message is pretty motivating. It congratulates us and tells us that we could have eaten another 1,072 calories if we wanted to. That's a lot of dessert. The key to all this is knowing your personal target daily BMR. Once you know your BMR, you can figure out pretty easily how many calories you can eat and or how much exercise you should get to meet your personal nutrition goals. Now that we know our personal BMR, we need to do some personal calories accounting. This is where CookBookPlus saves the day. CookBookPlus has been optimized to make it easy to keep track of your daily food consumption. For this example, we'll use CookBookPlus on the web to show how easy it is to keep track of daily meals and snacks. To get started, we'll click the web app demo command on the menu that runs along the top of all our pages. This opens the web app's login page. To get going, we'll enter our username and password in the web application and click the login button. This takes us to the last meal we entered. As you can see, I've already entered today's lunch. Let's go back one record, and you can see what I entered for today's breakfast. Let's go back to the last meal or lunch. The total calories we've logged so far today are summarized in this area. So far, our breakfast and lunch calories total 1,538. We haven't logged any exercises, so our net daily calories are the same as the number of calories we logged, or 1,538. BMR value is $3,016, and so far today, we are 1,478 calories short of BMR. That's the amount of calories that we can still eat today. Let's assume we've just finished dinner, and we need to enter those calories. To start, we'll click the Start a New Meal command button. We'll designate this as a supper meal, and we'll give it a descriptive name if we'd like. Then we'll click the Add Meal command button, Now we'll add some items in this area. For this quick example, we'll assume that our dinner consisted of some ham, some baked beans, and some green peas. To start, I'll open this drop down and pick some ham. Tab key, and I'll enter the number of ounces. For this example, we'll say 6 ounces, tab key, and I'll click the Add as New Line Item command button. That just entered the first item in our list. Next, I'll pick some baked beans, and we'll have some bushes. Boston recipe beans, tab key. And we're going to have 1 cup of those. And tab key, and I'll click the button again. For a third ingredient, we'll have some peas, and we'll use frozen peas, and I'll say I ate 2 cups of those. I like my peas. And we'll click the button Add as New Line Item. Nutrition information for this meal is summarized here. This meal has 856 calories, and it only has 22% fat. As we entered each meal item, the summary information here was updated. We still have 622 calories we can eat before reaching our BMR value. Let's have some dessert and see what happens. We'll have some apple pie and ice cream. We'll open the drop down and pick some apple pie, so we'll go pie. And there's some apple pie homemade pie that looks good. Select that, and we're gonna have 1 slice. We'll enter it to our list. And I believe I mentioned we'd have some ice cream, so let's have a cup of ice cream. And we're gonna have some Vanilla Breyers ice cream. 1 cup. Enter. So after eating dessert, we consumed 1,537 calories in this meal. The meal was about 33% fat, and our nutrition outcome for the day is fairly close to our BMR. Although we overshot just a little bit, this control tells us that the total calories for today equaled about 36% fat. Although we know the numbers for the day, we can also chart the results. To do that, we'll click this button. Here, we get a 1 day's daily calories snapshot report. This report shows our personal BMR. This is based on the personal profile that was entered into the system. The center chart graphically gives us the information that we saw in the summary area. And we can see that we barely went over our BMR, gaining maybe 2/100ths of a pound. The chart encourages us to consider exercising to take care of the 58 excess calories. Although we overshot our BMR target by a small amount, maybe we can do something about that. We didn't exercise at all today. Maybe we should do some exercise and see what happens. Although we basically broke even on our calories today, let's see what happens if we log an exercise. To do this, we're going to click the Daily Calories Report button. This page also summarizes the calories derived from the meals we ate for the day. From this page, we'll click the Log Exercise button. This opens our exercise log page. For this example, we're going to assume that I was able to do a bike ride. I will ride for an hour and a half, and I'll ride for a distance of about 25 miles. To get started, I'm going to click Add New Workout button. Then I'm going to enter a location. Note that today's date is already entered, so I'll pick a location, and we'll do this at White Sands. And we will ride for 1 hour tab, 30 minutes tab, and I'm going to go 25 miles in that time period, and then I'll click the Calories Burn button. This tells me that I burned 1,178 calories in this exercise. I can enter some optional information here if I want, and then I click the Add as New Workout command button when I'm finished. Now that we've entered the exercise, we're going to click the Return to Daily Calories Report Page button. I can see that by merely doing 1 bike ride, we are now under our calorie budget for the day by over 1,000 calories. What's even more important is that because we're now under budget, we have lost possibly 1/3 of a pound just by exercising today and not overeating. Let's navigate back to the main page by hitting this button. Once again, from this page, we can see a summary of today's calories outcome. Now it shows that we are under our calorie budget by 1,120 calories. Let's click the Daily Calorie Snapshot button again. This time our chart looks quite a bit different than before. The center gauge clearly shows that we're running about 2,000 net calories for the day, even though our BMR allowance was about 3,000. We've lost about 1/3 of a pound, and we receive a congratulations, indicating that after exercising and eating 3 meals a day with dessert, we could still have eaten another 1,120 calories. However, we were interested in losing weight, so by not eating the extra calories, we lost 1/3 of a pound. If you diligently log your meals and snacks over a reasonable period of time, like 3 months or 6 months, you'll be able to accurately determine your nutrition outcome without having to step on the scales. When working in the Daily Calories Report page, click the command button, Nutrition History, to produce a nutrition history report. By default, the date range for this report is the current date and the preceding 31 days. We can change this if we want. For this example, we're going to change the start date to 9/1/2008. We'll leave the end date alone. That way, the report will be produced for a period of just over 4.5 months. To produce a report, we'll click the command button Nutrition History. The Nutrition History report produces a summary outcome based on the report's date range. In this example, for a period of about 4.5 months, if we scroll the page, we can see all the meals and exercises that were used. In the report, there is quite a few of them here. The report summarizes nutrition outcome for the period. The daily amount you were over or under your target BMRE, your average exercise calories for the period E, and your net daily calories. Finally, the report provides an estimate of the weight gain or loss that would be expected during the report period. This value is based on the average daily calories you were over or under your target daily BMRE and the estimated BMR that's in your personal profile. When viewing a nutrition history report, you can click the command button Nutrition History Chart and generate a gauge chart of the nutrition history. We'll click the button and gauge chart is rendered. The reporting period is confirmed at the top of the page. This is the same report period shown on the nutrition history report. The left gauge indicates estimated target daily BMR. This value is also shown in this control. The center gauge charts the nutrition history averages. These values are repeated in these controls. And the right gauge depicts the period's estimated weight gain or loss, which is quantified in this control. The chart also quantifies the period outcome. In this case, we're encouraged to exercise because we overate on average by about 77 calories per day throughout the entire report period. If you step on the scales and you find that the estimated weight gain or loss for the report period is different than what the report estimates, then you'll have to modify your BMR value. The system estimates your BMR based on information you enter in your personal profile. One of the variables in your personal profile is something called a BMR factor. The BMR factor is used to tweak the result so that it matches what you see when you step on the scales. If the nutrition history report estimates a weight gain or loss that's different than what you see when you step in the scales, you'll need to adjust your estimated BMR value. In this example, the report is estimating that over about 4.5 months, we should have gained about 3 pounds. However, let's assume that instead of gaining 3 pounds, we actually lost about 3 pounds. In that case, our estimate for BMR value is a little bit too low. A low BMR value will trend this towards gaining weight. A too high BMR value will trend us towards losing weight. So, because we actually lost weight, we need to adjust our BMR factor upwards. We'll adjust the BMR factor using the BMR factor command button. Note that the command button says that the current BMR factor is 1.8. To change this, we'll click the button, and we're going to adjust it using the drop-down from 1.8 to 1.9. Then we'll click the Update Save Command button. Now we have to regenerate the nutrition history report, so we'll change the date range first to bar 9/1/2008 and the current date E, then we'll click the button. Now, the nutrition history report based on the meals, snacks, and exercises that we logged indicates that we lost about 3.5 pounds. Since we see that stepping on the scales indicates we lost about 3 pounds, then the current estimate for BMR, 3,184, is very accurate. BMR is the real key to long-term weight management. Once you accurately determine your personal target BMR, you'll easily be able to achieve your daily nutrition goals. BMR is your nutrition speed limit. If you manage your net daily calories to match your target daily BMR, you'll always stay on course for long-term weight management.